Hello and welcome to our final match of this second to last day of the Ninth Alliance tournament. I'm Ravy here with Michael Bolden, and this is Circle of Two versus Wild Boars. Circle of Two has brought the minimum number of points you can possibly bring with 5 Tech 1 battlecruisers, 3 Brutixes, and 2 Cyclones.
And it looks like Wild Boars has brought an all-battleship self-destruct team of 3 Ravens, a Dominix, a Prophecy, and a Typhoon. Now, the real question of this match is not who's going to win, it's how long they're going to make us commentate on it before they self-destruct or burn out of the arena.
Yes. As expected, Group H has turned out to be a showcase of masterful metagaming. But surprisingly, the Outbreak and Razor match looks to have out-metagamed this match here between CO2 and Wild Boars. Because at this point, even with the CO2 getting the maximum number of points, which is what they were coming in here expecting to get, the full 50-point handicap as well as a full victory, they're still actually not going to have enough points to come out into first or second in this bracket.
Yeah, it looks like Razor and Outbreak really did the math on this one, and unfortunately CO2 has metaphorically dropped the soap.
Now, the match is actually going, which I can understand if you wouldn't have realized that, because there's not a lot of firing. We are seeing some lasers coming from that Raven.
Oh, and it appears that they are all different colors. Yes, that's a rainbow Raven.
That is pretty amazing. One other detail that would be pretty easy to miss from the last match is that actually, because of the point values, because of the fact that those last 3 Cyclones survived for Razor, Razor actually is coming out of this match, or out of this day, in first place in their group, which is putting Outbreak into the opposite side of the finals bracket from their close friends in Hydra Alliance, which I believe was done intentionally.
Yeah, no, there's been some real advantages. Obviously, Razor and Outbreak both got something out of that deal, particularly preventing any sort of shenanigans that Circle of Two may or may not have pulled. But it looks like they're really going to make us wait on this one.
Indeed they are. Now, after seeing some of what went on during the week, I'm pretty confident in predicting that the deal between Outbreak and Razor was actually bartered by Garmin of Hydra Reloaded Alliance.
Yeah, we have heard some hints from our friend Kill2 that there were some shady backroom deals going on, but we couldn't really squeeze the details out of them. But it looks like the Razor versus Outbreak match was the metagame match of today. So.
Yes, and that was actually very impressive. I was surprised when I saw those Cyclones survive at the end of the match, but using the Cyclones to drop Razor into first place and Outbreak into second, to move Outbreak into the opposite side of the bracket from Hydra, which is I'm sure what they had been hoping to get, so that they can possibly get first and second between their 2 friends. That, I think, was something that was very cleverly done.
Yeah, unlike Group C, Group H contains several people who own calculators. So this match is really moving very slowly. Wild Boars, you can go ahead and hit self-destruct whenever. Oh, they're conga lining. It looks to be the conga line looks to be led by Wild Boars, so hopefully they will conga line directly out of the arena.
Yes, we are seeing a disco conga line with multicolored rainbow laser ravens, a lot of smart bombs, and battleships that may eventually get out of the arena, but it'll probably not happen within the 6 minutes and 51 seconds we have left.
Oh yeah, it appears Wild Boars appears to be splitting damage amongst themselves with their own smart bombs, and the conga line is actually a very technical maneuver. I don't know if you know this in 0-0
It is the epitome of 0-0 Alliance formation warfare.
Yeah, it's very true. In fact, conga lines used everywhere in 0-0 warfare. But it actually looks like they have set speed exactly to 100 meters per second. So and they're turning around.
Yes. It doesn't look like this match is going to end any time before it times out. They're just going to spend as much time on TV as possible. And while we're here, Michael Bolden, what is your favorite match of the day so far?
My favorite match of the day is Razor versus Outbreak. We sort of knew what Circle of Two versus Wild Boars were going to do. But we really were much more interested in... like the Red Federation match, which was kind of sad, only losing by 3 points.
Yes, that was a heartbreaking match. If they'd only been able to take down that Dramiel, then they definitely would have won the fight. Since we did see a lot of that Tengu for the end of the fight not firing at all, it's quite possible that he did burn out his high slots, and that's really got to be a painful blow. But you know what? They can come back next year and hopefully do even better.
Yeah, I would really like to see red and blue in the Alliance tournament next year. I think that maybe they because they are high-sec people got so used to just being able to dock into a station real quickly and repair their guns, they weren't used to it. A real thing that surprised me is that it seems like people are constantly burning out their modules and then don't have any nanite paste on them.
Yes, well, nanite paste, when it's burned out entirely, it doesn't work.
Oh,
you actually
I
have
see.
to get into a station. It's only if you've done damage to it. So if you do catch it ahead of time, then that's great. But
I am, in fact, such an elite PvPer that I've never fully burned out a module.
oh,
so.
yes, there you go. That is some skills right there.
No, exactly. It's very, very technical work. Looks like
All right.
they are still congaing.
So I think I think CCP Sunset has some questions for us. Is that correct?
I certainly do. We've had a few questions on the forum about new players wanting to get into PvP. What would you say would be the easiest ship for a new player who wants to try out some small fleet warfare, maybe inspired by the Alliance tournament?
The Rifter.
Yes, the Rifter is an amazing ship for small-scale PvP. And then from there, you can upgrade to a Rupture, which is another great ship. That's what I used to solo in 0-0 with and fail horribly, but it was a lot of fun.
Also, if you're doing really like small-scale frigate stuff, you can go Merlin to Blackbird and be a hilarious force of just pure anger from the people you're fighting. I think you get a Blackbird in, was it 5 days?
Yes,
A
you can go
competently
very
skilled-
quickly, and then you can be extremely useful in small games.
Really irritating. You make people really mad. We won several when Dreadit was brand new, and we all had like no skill points. The Blackbirds won us several like high-sec wars.
Another great class of ships for small-scale warfare, and also for some of the large-scale warfare, is Tech 1 battlecruisers. The Drake is one of the most popular ships for large-scale warfare, a bit less so now, but still fits into a lot of different fleets. The Ferox can actually be a fun solo ship. Brutixes, Myrmidons, and Hurricanes are great. All of those Tech 1 battlecruisers. They're
Exactly.
cheap, they're relatively easy to get into, really good ships.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of fun. Also, the T1 cruisers are great if you fit them abnormally. You can really trick people into engaging like a MOA or something, and then just like pop drain mills all day long.
Seen that with Ospreys as well. Make them think you're mining. One mining laser. Yeah.
Yeah, sneaky trick. Wait for someone to engage, and then all of a sudden, surprise!
Those are the best kind of kills.
Yeah. So, talking about PvP, what about so we've talked a little bit about the advancement through the different ships. Obviously, different ship types would have different roles depending on what kind of PvP you're doing. If you're as part of a fleet, obviously different ship types, different roles.
Yes.
Could we maybe talk a little about that?
If you're part of a fleet, one ship that every fleet needs more of is interdictors. They're fairly quick to get into. You have to get to the skills for interceptors first, but those are also a really fun ship and good for soloing. But once you can get into interdictors, every fleet will love to have you.
Yeah, and you also, in several large-scale 0-0 alliances, they reimburse dictors in such a way that you get paid to lose them in a fleet fight. In Test Alliance, we actually have like a set progression that goes something, I believe it's something like Rifter to Blackbird to Drake and then from there either to Scorpion or Maelstrom, just for the ships of the line that most people fly. But if you really want to have a lot more fun and be a little more involved and a little more engaged in actual PvP during those large fleet fights, you can go for like recons, like Hugin's. I don't know what the PL. I think the PL setup is Abaddons to Supers, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's how it works in PL. But at least when it's all puppies in test, that's how we roll.
No, recons are great ships. Interceptors and dictors also make excellent scouts, which is something that I'm sure you know all about, Michael Bolton. You've had a lot of experience in that. But scouting is another thing that's really easy to get into for new pilots. You don't need a lot of skill points, but a good scout, when you actually know how to do it, is a great asset to any fleet.
Right, well, I feel like we're slightly neglecting this very, very exciting match.
Oh,
I've
so
seen quite
exciting.
a few notifications popping up, so I better let you guys get back to your real job.
Yeah, I need to do some scrolling through local here. What?
Well, there is only now 1 minute and 12 seconds left, and this fight will essentially mean nothing. Neither of these two teams are at this point capable of getting out of this bracket, but they're just deciding to have a Congo line in the meantime.
They're looking. It looks like they are trying to self-destruct and get as close to 0 seconds as possible before
Yes.
canceling their self-destruct.
Now, this is something that's actually recently become extremely popular in PL with some of our Titan characters. We've had people that will self-destruct a Titan and stop it as close to 0 as possible. I think the record we've got is like 2 or 3 seconds, which, especially in some lag, is incredibly ill-advised, but still hilarious.
See, in test we just go all the way. We just blow them right up.
Yes.
But that's why we actually don't have any. We keep losing them to self-destructs. Yep. It looks like these guys are really enjoying themselves on this conga line.
The conga line is now moving up. They've realized that there's a third axis in space.
Oh yeah, very true. I wonder what they're going to do with the remaining 15 seconds.
That Dominic's is in fact doing a barrel roll.
Well, I think this match is going to be over pretty soon.
As these teams shuffle across the
Yeah,
arena.
they are shuffling every day. I think
Every
they've been
day.
practicing this shuffle for this match. Yeah, every day they've been shuffling.
And that is the match. Neither of these two teams are going to continue on, and we'll pass you back to Soundwave in the studio.